Well, just a very brief reflection on Tuesday. We spoke about it already, but how useful was it to see some of those younger players, coming through? We've already seen the emergence of Sam Nombe this season, and to see, Matthew and Dylan, and then a very late appearance by another young player. Useful to you to give those players experience.
Well, it can't harm for them or for us. It's a step forward for those players in their careers. So really, really pleased that they had the opportunity, and the positives from the game. I mean, it was a wet evening, and it wasn't the most exciting of fixtures, but it's the sort of competition that we all know. You win a few, and then you win another one, and suddenly it could become exciting. So it was a good night in terms of we won a game of football. Kieran scored a goal, and it takes us forward to the next game.
You've never complained about injuries, although you've had injury problems this season. How nice would it be for you to be able to choose from a full squad?
It's at the moment it seems so far away that I'm not even sort of romancing about it. I mean, we just have to navigate our way through the next couple of months. We had quite a few players training today on the training ground, which is nice. Ben Reeves was performing part of training. Bailey Cargill, John Moore Taylor was out there, so it's nice to see those players. But there's this one thing, them being in training, there's another thing ready for selection and ready to make an impact on the performance. So we're still a way off all that. Kieran Hagar's picked up an injury on Tuesday, so he's going to miss at least a couple of games, I think. So we are at bare bones, but that's the point of having a squad, and I will be fully behind and encouraging to those players that we do have available and select for Saturday.
And it is their opportunity to say, pick me. I'm here. I'm playing now because potentially another player is injured. Pick me.
Yeah, when it's 1-for-1, someone's out, someone's in. It's very much that scenario. But also, I've learned from experience that sometimes you have to adjust and adapt during these situations, and in there you find something else happens. It might be the emergence of a player like Sam Nombe, or it might be that a subtle change of formation that's required of us, or we have to go to, suddenly becomes something that we can get our teeth into, and it builds for the future. So, as a manager, I've seen it before, I've experienced it. You always have an open mind and try and spin the positives, and you never know what's around the corner, so it can always lead to something.
Nobody's pushing panic buttons, but 3 defeats on the spin in the league. It's not, you've said yourself, it's not desirable. How do you turn that around, and can you turn that around quickly?
Well, you have to be professional about it, and I'm considered, and I understand that it's not what you want, so I certainly don't dismiss it. But on the other hand, you have to find a way of going into the game that you do detach yourself from that, and you do what's necessary and play the way you need to play for the game. So you have to go about it with those two conflicting emotions. You can't. I mean, look, we're just in October. We've got a lot of players out. We've played some really good football. In all those games, we'd arguably could have got a result in all those games.
Is that the key, Paul? Is that the key? I'm just thinking, if you're tonked 3 or 4-0 every game, then you...
We haven't been.
No, that would be the problem.
If we're talking about those last 3 games, we've given it a right go in all 3 games. It feels like that as well. We've put ourselves out there. We've conceded the odd goal, but we've really tried hard, and we've had some real fluency to our play. So sometimes you can just try too hard, and actually we don't want to get into that. I don't want to get into that where it's about trying harder, because we're trying as hard as we can. It's about doing the right thing and relaxing, and so again I have to detach myself from that emotion of the 3 games. We haven't got a point. We have to actually say, well, we're playing okay. We're actually playing very well at times. Let's just continue with that, and that's the craft of coaching, of management, of putting a team together. We have to try to get those emotions in the right order.
We're about to speak to Hiram Boateng. What have you made of his performances since he arrived?
He has shown already why I was keen to sign him, but he is yet to do that consistently to a level where I think he's fully settled in. And it's to be expected. Just dropping into a new environment, a new team, the nuances of different connections on the pitch throw up sometimes a lack of clarity or a lack of fluency in your game individually. And he will settle in. I'll make sure it happens. I'll see to it that does happen at some point. I'm fully behind him. He's shown some really nice glimpses, some really exciting glimpses, and shown everybody, and importantly himself, that's why we wanted to sign him, and he'll be a big part of what we do. So he's close enough to be in and out of the side every week. I mean, he hasn't started every game. Am I surprised? I would have wanted him to hit the ground completely at first running, but he's been unsettled at first, potentially within a team that's been unsettled. So let's be honest, we've not been settled either. So it's a very long way of saying I'm happy with what he's done so far. There's a lot more to come. I'm confident that will happen. He's a good chap. He wants to do well. He's made of the right stuff, and I'll make sure it happens.
What do you make of Burton this weekend?
They look like a tough nut to crack, actually. You look at their form, and they've lost a couple of games recently, but right at the death. So that they've been, a whisker away from a far higher position in the league, and they've had some
similar to you, really. Isn't it?
Yeah, and Nigel knows his stuff. His teams always have a certain style that makes them productive. I would imagine they will relish playing here, and I will imagine that we're going to have to be pretty shrewd with the way we play, because if we open ourselves up, I think they will take advantage of it. So we've got to be at our best, and I'm really looking forward to the game. I played against Nigel's teams on and off for years, and I'm looking forward to it, actually.